Warm greetings of the day. Welcome to Life Made Up of Questions. Today we are having our resource person, Miss Shiny. She's a BE and ME Computer Science degree holder. So she's into the field of coding for kids for the past more than 10 years. So now she will be sharing her ideas regarding how this concept of coding for kids help in their future enhancement in this field of computer science and engineering. So welcome you for this on this forum. Welcome you.
Thank you, Hari Krishnan.
Yes.
Thank you for taking up this topic. I'm sure this is something that is going through the minds of many moms. Is coding necessary for kids? Should my child learn coding? How much time should they spend on coding? So as a mom, like I also had all these questions. So I think this is one of the a best topic for us to discuss. Thanks.
So when we are going through this topic, I myself have witnessed this evolution of computer science from the late 90s to the now the 2022. Earlier, when the computers was introduced, we were having the classes in the school describing the hardware, the software part, the block diagram, then coming into different platforms, the operating systems. Then this was introduced in the offices. Now everything is getting automated in the current scenario. So when coming into the latest updates on this coding, we can see now the kids are born with the gadgets. When the day one or the day two, they are with the mobiles or with the laptops or with the tab. So they are starting with all these gadgets and all these corresponding things. So they are familiar with lot of applications. They are able to do the video call. They are able to do a lot of other chatting, all these things. But when coming to the other side, the back end, how this can be developed, so there comes the concept of development or the modeling or the mathematics involved in that, the logic part. So how to develop the curiosity? A kid may be good in using all these gadgets, but how we can develop the curiosity or how we can identify the aptitude for the kid to have an involvement in this subject?
Yeah. So as you said, kids are now used to gadgets and they are very good at using the gadgets. Okay. So there are two things: using gadgets and learning how to make these things. Okay. So we might be a good foodie. We might like go and have good food and we say, okay, this tastes better. Okay. But if you know a little bit of cooking, you know what ingredient can be added to that so that it can be made to how you want to use it. So that is what coding has to do with this technology. So these days, uh, okay, do you edit? I mean, I got.
No problem, you can, because there is no
Yeah.
need of editing, you can speak. No, not an issue.
Okay. Thanks. So these days, though the kids know how to use the technology, how to play games using it, learning how to build these games will be really interesting and it will be really fun activity for kids. So it is pretty important that they know what goes behind the technology so that they can later use this technology for their betterment. So learning to code will help them learn how these things work. Okay, that doesn't mean that you all need to put their heads down and do some Python or Java or C coding. You just need to understand how these things work. Okay, when I play a game, when something is moving in my game, how is it actually moving? What is going behind the screen? Has someone written how to go from one step to another? Okay, so these are the things that the kids will know. So that then they will learn to appreciate how well the game is built, and they will learn how and they will try to make improvements in that game so that they can play it according to their need.
I
So
think,
as a mom,
yeah.
yeah, as a mom, the only condition I have at my home is I tell my kids, build the game that you want to play. Once you build the game, you don't have any time frame to play the game. You can play it as long as you need. So, but you need to build the game so that you know what is happening underneath.
So I think the concept is similar that everywhere a problem is there. For example, if we are planning to design something, if we are going to create something, if there is an ailment in our body or with the automobile we are using, if we are able to identify the problem or the track the problem, we are able to explain it to the technician or the doctor. So the diagnosing will be easy. So first stage of this coding or the aptitude required is to identify the problem and then to design that problem with the help of a flow chart or what are the necessary concepts coming into the scenario. Like for example, we need to get a like everywhere the logic is coming, so different routes are there. We need to find the best pattern and we need to develop a corresponding code for that. So when we are dealing with now we are speaking in English, we can use several other languages like Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu, but the concept remains the same. Only the syntax or the language we are speaking is different. Similarly, when coming to the coding, the concept or the main underlying path is same, but the language is only and the grammar is only changing. So how to develop that concept? For example, addition of a number, 3 plus 5, 6, 7, 8 is the answer. Then for multiplication of two matrices, the row and column must be equal of both the matrices. These are the main concept. If that condition doesn't satisfy, further procedure is not valid. So that concept is there means further the students can able to develop this the other level. So I mean coming to a low level like less than 10 grade 10, what will be the basic programming languages, which is the best programming languages need to be introduced to the kids?
Okay. So before I answer that question, uh, so programming languages actually helps kids in a variety of ways. It is not just math, it is not just their math skills. It helps them in other ways. For example, problem solving. So you are given a problem and you are asked to write a solution for the problem. So which makes them think how to solve a problem, whether it is addition of two numbers or to make a car move from one position to other. They are going to think about how to make that movement from one position to other. Another thing is their communication. They now consider that the child know how to move that car to one position to other. The child now need to express that to the or give that instruction to the computer. So he need to put it into a sequence of steps so that the computer understands how to take that car from one step to other. So there is a communication that the child is doing with the machine that improves their communication skills and their creative thinking. There are creative ways. One child might make the car go in a straight line. Other child might make it go in a zigzag way. So when we give a problem to a group of kids, there are wonderful ideas that come out. So that makes their creative thinking. So similar to this, there are a lot other skills that they develop when they do the coding, other than just finding out a computer science related job. Tomorrow, a child who is being practicing coding for some time, even if he becomes a lawyer tomorrow, these skills, the problem solving skills, the communication skills, the critical thinking skills, the perseverance, because you get a lot of errors, nobody is going to get it right at the first time. So the perseverance, all these are the skills that will help them in any aspects of life, whatever uh, aspect they get into.
Yeah,
But
one of my
the,
doubt is that, as you have mentioned, so for example, we can take the category like 6 or 7 years old kid. So how we can introduce this subject directly? What is the main foundation required? Because directly we can give this problem solution and all. So what are the ingredients, the base level ingredients or the base level foundation? What is the main part we have to
yeah,
focus?
right now there are a lot of function block level programming languages like Blockly or Scratch or MIT App Inventor. These are the things that we need to get the kids introduced to. So I have seen schools wherein from grade 2 the kids are getting introduced to code.org, wherein the first task will be to drag something and put it in a place, just dragging and putting it. But you need to know that okay, this has to uh, come from there and it has to go to this position. So this is also programming. You are instructing it to go to a position. So it is best to start your kids with block level programming. Do not scare them with syntax or the hard syntaxes, especially in programs like C or Java. It's not for the kids below 12 years. Okay, I might be wrong sometimes because I cannot say that blunt statement. There are kids who work with Python, C, who are at their 10 or 12 years of age. But still, for a normal child, I would always recommend start with Blockly.
Yeah, when it's come to
This is
drag and drop
nothing.
programming, they can also think about
Exactly.
creating a block if they're further developing that fascination or the interest for the subject. Definitely, he or she may be having the spark for further studies because there is having a backing
Exactly.
for that. And
Yeah.
definitely, when coming into the job perspective, now we can see everywhere the information technology is playing a vital role. But the hard sad news is that for the upcoming years, we don't know what will be the reverse scenario because the core branches will not go. So definitely, for a computer science engineering, we are always thinking about this coding part. But other than
Yeah.
that, there's come the research and development where we are going for the reality of the pure modeling or the concept underlying this development of coding. So, for example, it's not required that a BE or BTech degree holder needs to be a software engineer because they are learning many more things rather than mere coding also. So,
Correct.
so how can a person with a school level education have like a parallel upskill or like a job pattern with the help of getting some hands-on training during the school days itself?
Are you asking like a person who is in a non-computer science field?
Yeah, for
How can
example,
they
if I am doing my
get a
10th grade, I am into my 12th, I am doing my plus two. So parallelly, if I'm having some good knowledge in coding, I can do some projects parallelly along with my studies because no one is
okay?
going to check my qualification. They
Yeah.
need only the result. If you are getting a project, you can give a part of it. I can do and give the result to you. So I am just doing a part of it. So it's like creating an employment opportunity also with the skills which I have acquired. It doesn't mean that I need a degree at that time. So
Yeah.
where
That
comes that
that
concept?
yeah. There is a difference between a programmer and a software engineer. A programmer is someone who can program whatever is given. The design is given for them. Everything that they have to do is being given. They are just translating it into the corresponding coding language and making it happen. But when it comes to a software engineers are expected to think. So they need to think of a design, they need to think of a solution for a problem, and they need to think of an algorithm for a problem that best suits a problem. That is the difference between a programmer and a software engineer. So a programmer, as you said, after 12th, if they know a programming language, if they go take programming as a side job or something, they can do web development, because web development is you give them the design, say what is to be done, they can create a web page that can be done. But they won't be able to do the hardcore design or algorithms part of, or deciding on what data structure to use. All those things come only when you learn an engineering degree, or when you engineering degree, it comes as a part of a syllabus so that you have a step by step process, or you need to train yourself in data structures and algorithms so that you can become a software engineer. So that is
Okay.
the difference.
Okay, so now we are into the mixed scenario like AI is coming, robotics coming, all were a mixed combination of all these streams are there.
Yeah.
So and the demand for computer science is also increasing. So what do you think in the upcoming days? What are the opportunities for students opting the computer science? Like if they are going for the other streams also, they may be choosing an arts subject, but parallelly if they are having this logical skills like a coding, how it is going to help them?
The main skills that we look for when it comes to industry is the ability to learn, your aptitude to learn and understand things. That is the main thing that we look at while we recruit a person. So if they are capable of learning anything, then there is no barrier. Whatever technology changes, whatever change comes, they will be able to learn and adapt. So that is what the colleges should be teaching this the 4 years. They should teach them how to learn by themselves.
I think
So
in the with the impact of new education policy and all, we know that in now the institutions are having more autonomy, and they can have some clubs or some forums where they can have an hands-on experience or like experience sharing in order to have an entrepreneurship development cell to establish a private registered company where the students are having some opportunity learn from the scratch. Now the scratch is not required, everything is available. They need to understand and rebuild the structures. So what are the opportunities in such cases, like the colleges, whether it's engineering college, arts college, or any degree college? We can see that there are chances, like for a programming, not a software engineer, I'm telling, for a programmer to use this platform. It can be utilized by high school students also. They can explore themselves, or they can nurture themselves to groom themselves into a better professional. What are the opportunities?
So programming clubs or these clubs are very important in any college. So these are the places where you really get the skills groomed. So a club run by kids, by these students, they have to get together and start building projects, whatever small projects it be. Let it be the projects that are already existing, maybe a replica of YouTube or maybe a replica of Facebook. They need to sit and put their hands down, and they have to code and build projects, put it in their GitHub or GitLab repository. That is going to speak for them when they go for a job placement. And on the entrepreneurship side, when these kids come together, they get a collective group of like-minded people who come up with ideas. The projects like the events like Smart India Hackathon, these are some of the events that will help the students to showcase their real talents, so they can come together as group, build projects, take it to hackathons, and get rewarded, or they get expert suggestions there. Later they can take these ideas and turn it into a prototype. I am sure many colleges now have this entrepreneurship cell, and they also have this what do you call the incubator. So they incubate the students' ideas.
Yeah,
So
when coming to the certification, we are having the like school level certifications are also available. A lot of certifying agencies are the like master certification program for the kids. Then coming to the professional certification. So, what are the real impact of this certification? We are totally confused when we are going for a certification. A number of certifications are available, and now
yeah.
everywhere we are going, artificial intelligence is coming, data science is coming, machine learning is coming. But at the end of the day, when certification is coming, what is the real meaning of the certification?
I personally believe there is no real meaning in any certification. Certifications can be generated by any person. So I would suggest everyone not to go behind certification. What you really know matters rather than the certificates. The certificates only talks that, okay, you have undergone this course, but what you learned in this course, what you know, only your projects can talk about. So
But when coming to that, also certification matters a lot, because they are undergoing a program with the stipulated hours and the syllabus, and finally, if they're successfully able to complete that program, only they are able to get the certification. It's not the course completion; they are getting the online examination evaluated by the authority, so that certificate is valid because they will be having a minimum skill set if they are able to clear that.
yeah, depends on from where you get the certification. There are different levels. Depending on your certifying authority, it varies. But again, whatever you have, you need to have that knowledge. That is what is important. For the people who show me a certificate, I am also recruiting for my company. So for a person who shows me a certificate, I definitely go and ask questions in that area, and if they're able to answer it, fine. But if they're not able to answer it, then they're losing the value of their certificate. That's what I'll say.
Okay, so it was nice talking to you regarding this coding for kids, and I think now these programs like coding for kids or school level or college level, such hobby labs can happen, and it's an emerging topic. So thank you for spending your time to have this discussion. So thank you.
Thank you. Nice talking to you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.